We didn't put anything in the game plan for the Patriots. It was literally vanilla. Man on man, you whip him across from you, and we're hanging with them, and we should have won. If we didn't play that game against them the last game, we wouldn't have won the Super Bowl, I don't think.
What's up, everybody? This is Rich Kleiman, and welcome to Network, my brand new show in partnership with Boardroom and Yahoo. On this show, I'm going to sit down with some of the brightest minds in sports, business, and entertainment, and I'm also going to tell you a little bit about what's on my mind. My first guest today, Hall of Fame defensive end Michael Strahan from the New York Giants. I'm going to talk to Michael today about the business he's built off the field, what it's like to be on TV every morning, and some memories from his incredible run with the New York Giants. So thanks for joining me, and stay connected and locked by subscribing to Network on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your shows. Welcome to my network. We're going to talk about the GOAT debate. The GOAT debate we're going to talk about today is about what the context is around it. So I'm going to give you an example. I'm watching social media, or I'm on social media the other day, and I see a tennis pundit say that Carlos Alcaraz was Roger Federer, but better. And when I first heard it, I couldn't believe what this man said. Then I went in the comments and realized that everybody was being incredibly complimentary, and everybody was in some way celebrating it and acknowledging how incredible Alcaraz was. And it wasn't about knocking Federer, and it wasn't about how incredibly crazy it was that he could say something like that. When I was a kid, I remember the first tennis players that I was aware of were players like McEnroe and Connors and Lendl. I'm old. But quickly after that, Sampras and Agassi came into the world. And right away, I could tell as soon as I laid my eyes on them, these guys were better. And to be honest, I think the generation before them quickly acknowledged they were better. Then what happened after Agassi and Sampras? Nadal, Federer, Djokovic. 2 decades, we've all acknowledged that those are the best tennis players ever. There was no problems from the generation before. There was no questioning how great they were. Everyone just acknowledged that the new guys were the best ever. And now, at just 23 years old with 5 Grand Slams, of course he's got to go on and accomplish what Federer and these guys have accomplished. But somebody can say that he's Roger Federer, but better. And it's celebrated. I'm going to give you another example. Hip hop, right? I grew up in the 90s in New York. So if you ask me my top 5 in hip hop, I'm going to tell you the same all the time. Jay-Z, Nas, Biggie, Tupac, Jadakiss. And you might ask a young kid today, and he'll probably say Kendrick Lamar, Drake, J. Cole, and maybe they'll throw Biggie or Jay-Z in. Music's a little different. I'll tell you why music's different, because you can still play the music right now and make it current. It sustains. It's everlasting. So if you hear a song and it connects with you that way, you're going to put them in your top 5. But really, generationally, these kids are now saying NBA Youngboy, Drake, Kendrick. They're not saying Jay-Z, Biggie, Nas, except the 1 or 2 people that are still listening to music from then. But nobody is saying that their top 5 is Run DMC, Eric B. and Rakim. Maybe the old heads are, but if they are, they don't even believe it. If someone says Rakim, Cool G Rap, they know if they listen to Rakim and Jay-Z back to back, they know Jay-Z's better. But no one's going to say it. Why? Because they just acknowledge that the evolution of the sport of hip-hop, people have gotten better. That's at least how I see it. Then you think about football. Football could be an exception. I always figured that Lawrence Taylor, arguably the greatest defensive player of all time, could have played in any era. I've always just said that. He would be incredible. He would dominate today. But the more I start thinking about this example, the more I'm wondering if Lawrence Taylor really wouldn't. Like, would Lawrence Taylor just be one of these guys on the field, like an incredible player? But are there a ton of Lawrence Taylors on the field? Does the evolution of the athleticism, the strength training, the technology, the knowledge from previous generations, does it ultimately just make everyone better? Would Joe Montana really be one of the best quarterbacks ever if he played now? Maybe football doesn't subscribe to the same thing. Maybe football is one of those things where you can truly look at a player from 20 years ago and go, nah, he could be incredible right now. But you'll never know, so you can't really say if you put Joe Montana into today's game that he would dominate. I don't know if he would. I don't know if there's 15 other quarterbacks. It's just over time with the coaching and the training and the skill set that they're all just better, that people just get better. In basketball, though, that's sacrilegious. If I ever said, all bias aside, that Kevin Durant was better than Larry Bird, people would flip out. But if I put on any YouTube clip ever, are you telling me that Larry Bird is better than Kevin Durant? Or honestly, this is crazy too, but are you telling me Shaq would really dominate in any era? When people say Shaq will dominate in any era, I don't know if he would. Jokic dominates. Can Shaq do what Jokic did? Shaq couldn't shoot free throws. Shaq couldn't shoot threes. So people will say he would have learned how to shoot threes. But would he have? I don't know. So how could we say that he would dominate in any era? I just know that it's absolutely sacrilegious to say something as obvious as Kevin Durant's probably better than Larry Bird. He might not have had a better career. He might not have the same accolades. But then if we're talking about accolades, then how is LeBron not obviously the best ever? And I grew up in Michael Jordan's era, so I'm always going to say Michael Jordan was the best. That's the way he made me feel, the way it impacted me. Young people, they're impacted by LeBron in that way. But I know if you took somebody from another planet and put them on in front of a TV and let them watch LeBron and Michael Jordan, there's no way that everybody would say that Michael Jordan was better. And LeBron has the body of work. So I'm not even debating it. I'm just saying, have we looked at it all wrong? Could we really be looking at it the way tennis looks at it? Should we not just celebrate the evolution of all these athletes in all these eras? It's not as fun for sure, but if you really think about it, if in tennis, McEnroe could acknowledge that Sampras was better, Sampras could acknowledge that Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic were better, and now somebody respected within tennis can say that maybe Carlos Alcaraz is Roger Federer, but better, and all they do is celebrate it in the sport, it's just something to think about. That's just my thought. My first guest today is the one and only Michael Strahan, Hall of Fame defensive end from the New York Giants.
What's up?
What's up, man? Welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me, man. This is great. I'm in the boardroom.
You're in the boardroom, my new digs. How do you like my set, bro?
I love it. I love it. You know, I'm looking at all these pictures and I have some observations.
Talk to me.
Which, I pretty much have met everybody in these pictures and they're fantastic people. But Jay-Z and KD have two pictures.
Yeah.
In here. I'm curious about that. I love Bob Iger up there, you know. My dad, Jimmy Iovine, and then I love that. I used to, have a relationship with somebody up there's ex-wife, which it's a little uncomfortable, but cool. He's a great guy. I'm the friends. Lindsey Vohn's my girl. That's my girl. I'm comfortable, man. I'm comfortable in the boardroom.
Feel at home. I would say that the argument for the two for KD and Jay-Z, and it wasn't very premeditated, but now that I think about it, I'm a fan of both of them, but I've also worked with both of them. So maybe that's why they get both.
No. I'm not lobbying for myself.
No.
But I will tell you, I respect both of them. Both of them are incredible. On the court, off the court, on the stage, off the stage. Had a chance to spend some time with the great dudes, man, and inspirations with everything that they've done outside of what their primary business is. And I think that's what this is about.
100%.
And it's not about, being a great athlete or being a great actor or being a great musician. It's about, okay, what else do you do in your life outside of just that? I mean, the boardroom encompasses a lot of things.
Yeah, I appreciate that observation because I would say that the way I thought about a lot of these picks were people that not just inspired me, but people that almost check all those boxes. The people that, like, for whatever reason, they just have that intangible that makes people pay attention.
Why aren't you on the wall there?
Because it's my show.
Your face is here. Because like Ruben's the guy with the it, you get around Mike and it's like he's got this energy.
Yeah.
Got this infectious energy. And you're the same way.
Thank you, bro.
It ain't just the glasses. You're really cool.
No,
dude,
the
man.
glasses are a big part of it, though. The glasses are a big part of it. There was a world of me before the glasses.
Really?
Yeah.
I want to see those pics.
They're just regular pics. But the thing is, now people that have known me in the last 5-6 years don't even recognize me without the glasses. Truly don't recognize
Lift
me
them
without
up for
my
a second.
glasses.
Let me see something. Who am I talking to? Who are you?
This is Rich Kleiman, and this is Ace Kleiman.
I think I'll say this is Rich Kleiman, and this is Rich
This
Kleiman.
is Rich Kleiman. Well, thank you for all that, and thank you again for being on my first show. It feels right that you'd be on my first show.
Of course, I'm honored. All right. I mean, you hit me. I'm always there. We go way back. Great friends. I love and admire everything that you do. Keep up with everything that you do. And you're an inspiration and to so many people, myself included.
Thank you, brother.
You're one of the people when you call or you hit me up, I'm on it like immediately. I don't mess around. Let's get together. I'm on it because I feel like I'm going to learn something. We always have interesting conversations that involve more than just surface talk. We
100%.
always involve, either it's business or what's going on in the world or in sports or whatever it may be, but it's always interesting. And that's what I love. I want somebody that, gives me a different perspective, but also makes me think, but also, we're like-minded in so many ways. So you do that.
Thank you. Right. And it's true. We sat down for dinner last week, regular Wednesday night on the Upper West Side, 7:00. And within 15 minutes, we were having a deep conversation.
Yeah.
Well, let's stay on that.
Let's go.
So something that I learned, I knew this about you, but I learned about you last week when we met, was the fact that you actually never even really played football in any organized fashion until your senior year in high school.
Well, I guess when I was 7 and 8, if you call that organized.
Yeah.
That's kind of like kids running around.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're doing. But yeah, my senior year of high school, like my big 1 year of like real football, man. And I was in Germany. I was living in Germany. I wasn't playing football. I was just working out with my dad since I was 13 to like 16 my senior year because I was a chunky kid. They call me Bob, booty on back. Yeah, you can grab your wallet like that. Yeah, they used to mess with me, and it inspired me to. I bought the Jane Fonda workout tapes. I bought the Herschel Walker had the push-ups and his workout book was about push-ups and sit-ups and doing things you can do without having gym equipment. And I didn't have any gym equipment. I didn't live near a gym. So I would watch TV and every commercial break, I'd jump on the floor and bust out some leg lifts from Jane Fonda, or I'd jump on the floor and bust out some push-ups from Herschel Walker. And my dad just saw me doing this for months. And he was like, yo, if you really are that committed, I'll work out with you. And that's really what got me going and doing anything that was athletic was my dad.
I bet there's not a single listener under the age of 45 that will know what a Jane Fonda workout tape is.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah. But it's
Crazy.
pretty epic.
Pretty epic. And every time I see Jane Fonda, I'm like, you saved my life. At this point, I know, Michael, I know. Like, don't tell me the story again.
You tell her that she saved your life?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, you have no idea the 13-year-old kid, the youngest of 6, running around with my brothers and their friends, and I feel like I'm cool because I'm a young kid running around with the older kids, and you find out the nickname they gave you meant booty on back. That's devastating, man. Absolutely devastating. But it taught me, though. I think there are certain times in my life, and I don't know if you experienced this, but there are certain events that happened in my life that I had to make a decision that I knew I made. And I can look back now, I made a decision that changed the direction of my life forever. And that was one of them. Making a decision to change something that it started as being made fun of, changed the direction of my life in so many ways. Even if I hadn't played football, it changed the direction that if you don't like something about your life, I've learned you can change it.
Go change it.
You have the power to change it. I could have gone home and just said, Mom, you know what?
I'm Bob.
Hey, can you get another piece of cake? I'm Bob.
I'm Bob.
Yeah, I'm Bob. This is my life. But I changed it. And that's been the course of a lot of things that have happened in my life. I could have changed it. I'd rather I have the power to do that.
And your dad obviously realized from working out with you and watching you that your focus shifted and then sent you to Houston, right?
Yeah.
And your uncle was a football player.
Yeah, my Uncle Ray, we call Uncle Ray, Arthur Ray Strahan. Uncle Ray, about 6'6", 6'7", 270-something pounds. He played big dude. And he played 7 years professionally. And he was a mountain of a man. I remember as a kid, we had one of those Volkswagen little vans that we were all going fishing or something, and it gets stuck and we're pushing. And my brother flips and it rolls back over him. And my uncle literally lifts up the back of the freaking Volkswagen. They were country strong, man.
Oh, my God.
Country strong. But my uncle used to play, and that's who I stayed with for 5 or 6 months. And he'd take me in the front yard and just show me all these moves and all that stuff. I don't know if I learned anything, but he sure beat the hell out of me. And if the neighbor, like nowadays, if people saw you doing that to a kid in the front yard, you probably get in trouble.
Child protection.
Yeah. But he toughened me up. And there was just no, with him and my dad being a major in the Army, there was no like, it's like there's a mission. Get it done.
Yeah.
There is no, this is what needs to be done. I don't care how you do it, figure it out.
Yep.
And that's pretty much how it was with my uncle. That's how it was with my dad. But my uncle was a big part of my football career. And my dad wasn't. My parents were in Germany still, and he was the father figure at that time for me.
So when you go to Houston and step on the field, are you one of those guys that
Garbage.
You were garbage?
Yeah, I know what I was doing. I was garbage. In high school, dude, I didn't know a sack was important. I had no idea. I didn't know technique. I knew nothing. I was basically trying to survive. Just trying not to get hurt and survive. I had no idea what I was doing.
Was it like a high level competitive high school?
Westbury High School, we were all right. I mean, we were okay. We weren't good, bad, or indifferent. We weren't, like some of these other schools that had guys who always were getting scholarships to D1 schools or anything like that. But we weren't bottom of the barrel either.
But you somehow got it together to get one scholarship offer.
Well, it's kind of a crazy story is that I actually did get one scholarship, but it wasn't to Texas Southern University. I had a scholarship to Cisco Junior College.
Oh, that don't sound good.
No. Two things I think of with Cisco is the drink that they banned back in the day because they called it liquid crack, and the thong song. So you take your pick which one you want. But Cisco Junior College gave me a scholarship. I flew back to Germany in December. After I signed a scholarship, went back to Germany in December. I graduated high school in Germany in June. And second in my class. And there were 2 people in my class.
There you
me
go.
And Julie Johnson. That was it. So, ladies first. And I literally came back to go to junior college. I figured if I go to junior college, maybe I figure out the game. Maybe I get a scholarship to a bigger school. And I had a friend of mine, Alfred, who said, hey, I got a scholarship to TSU. Why don't you come over with me, man? Go see the coach. You don't want to go way up there to Cisco, in the middle of nowhere. I'm like, okay, I'll go over there. We drive to school. I meet Walter Highsmith, Alonzo Highsmith's father.
Wow.
And University of Miami first round pick. His father was our head coach, and I see him, and he's talking to me. Go, got a good size. Can you run? I'm like, yes, sir. Oh, you got good. Okay, I got you. That was it.
That was it.
I was at Texas Southern 4 years.
You got a scholarship?
I never signed a paper, but I was there for 4 years and went to school.
All right. I like it.
Hey, it was a different time, man. I can say that now, but it was just a different time. He said I was good. I didn't know what I was supposed to do. He said I was good. So that's where I was. And he took care of me.
So then from that freshman year, only a year off of your first year of organized football, 4 years later, you get drafted into the NFL. What happened in those 4 years? How did you put it together those 4 years?
Figured it out. Like I said, when I was in high school, it was about survival. When I was in college, it was about survival. My first semester of play of football, that first year, I went back home for Christmas break because I couldn't go home like most kids can go home for Easter. They can go home for Thanksgiving. They can do all these things. I couldn't.
Yeah.
Germany was too far. My parents didn't have the money to fly me back and forth like that. So I would stay there and sit in that dorm room by myself, hated it, lonely, crying. And then I went back home for Christmas break, and I decided to myself, I'm not going back. I'm done. Like, I'm not going back there. I hate it. And the school next semester had already started, about probably like a few weeks in. And my dad said, when school start? It's about time, right? And I was like, yeah, it's already started. And that time, I'm feeling like a man. I got my shoulders, My dad was an all-army boxer, wasn't a punk. So I was kind of big dude. So I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna go back. And he looked at me and said, what are you gonna do? I said, I'm gonna stay here and get a job. He looked at me again and his voice got deeper than mine. He said, what are you gonna do? And that was another pivotal moment in my life. So I can think back to like then. I said, okay, I realized at that moment I have to go back to college as much as I don't want to. And I made up my mind, if I have to go back and I have to do it, anybody can go back and just go through the motions to be a part of something. But if I'm going to do it, why not try to see if I can be the best at it, how well I can do it, and then see where that takes me. So that moment made my mind switch. Like, okay, I got to go do it. I'm just not going to go ahead and be a punching bag for players. I'm gonna go out here and try to be the one that's doing the punching.
Yeah.
Do the best I can, and then when it's over, it's over. And I just, from that moment, man, my focus was different. I worked out like crazy, almost breaks when I had to sit in my dorm room. I would work out when everybody else was at home. I had the discipline to work out on my own, and it just kind of snowballed. And then I had some coaches, J.W. Harper was a great D-line coach for me. C.L. Whittington was our defensive coordinator. And the great thing is C.L., that's when the NFL would do like these camps and they invite coaches to. So he went to Washington and brought back some tape. And it was Charles Mann and Dexter Manley. And I used to watch those guys pass rush on this tape and just watch it and try to, picture myself doing their moves. And every once in a while, the Houston Oilers would come practice on our field. I don't know why, but they would come and I would sit in the stands and I would watch and I'd just go, okay, I could do that.
Yeah.
It was almost like my career is almost mimicking. I kind of learned that, okay, I could see what other people do. I can try it. If it doesn't work, maybe I can alter it a little bit so it fits me physically on the football field. And then kind of what I do now, I know what fits me. I know what I can work with and what I can't. But yeah, I figured football out.
Yeah. By the way, I completely relate to that statement. I feel like, and I wonder if successful people in general operate in that way, where you have to make a real mental note. You pay close attention, see what's working, and you evolve it to be that version of it, but it's you, it's yourself.
100%.
And you figured it out. And you didn't just figure it out, right? Like, I realize sometimes like professional athletes, well, really anybody at the top of their game, it sounds so matter of fact. Obviously, you had a God-given gift, but you had like real inflection points already at this point in your life. But you got yourself to the point to get drafted by the New York Giants in the second round.
Yeah.
And it's like 5 years later, right? 5 years later, you're getting drafted by the New York Giants. And now you walk into this locker room and LT is in this locker room. How does that same Michael Strahan,
that dude sitting on the wall there, man,
that badass sitting on the wall right there, you walk into the locker room, what is this guy like?
He's scary.
Yeah.
I mean, everything in life, and I think a lot of times people get this twist, especially a lot of younger kids who they have a lot of success early. And I always said, in high school, I know what I was doing. But luckily enough, got the scholarship and TSU. And then at TSU, I didn't know what I was doing, but I built myself up to when I left, I was Mr. Everything in HBCU football. And then I come to New York, I'm like, I'm starting over again in every realm. And I think at some point you walk into that locker room, and I remember watching Eric Dorsey walks in, and this guy's got muscles coming out of places that I didn't know he had muscles.
Monster.
And I remember looking at him thinking, if I have to look like that, I'll never make it in the NFL, ever. This guy, nevertheless, this guy's a monster. And so you had those moments where it's like, whoa. But when LT walked in, I'm telling you, man, I swear to you, he didn't walk in the room.
Yeah, you told me this.
He just was there. It was like he was on a conveyor belt. Like he was at the airport going from the on the terminal. He was just gliding. Just gliding into the room. And all of us, wasn't just me, all of us rookies are just sitting there like God walked in the room. But I will tell you this to this day, man, he's a great teammate. And I was like the understudy. So I had none of the skills LT had. And what he could do was amazing. It was really a story that's just amazing what he could do. But every day I would have to be across from him in practice playing the offensive lineman. And I could tell the good days when he's in a good mood, he'd practice his golf swing. And on the other days when he's just sitting there looking like that, don't say a word. Shut up, rookie. But he was great to us. He treated us as young players. He treated us really well, man. He would give you the shirt off of his back. No matter, and I always appreciated that because he was the most successful, in my opinion, the greatest defensive player to ever play the game of football. But he was generous to us young players. But then you always had the guys who were like barely hanging on, who were the nasty ones too, who tried to make coming to work miserable. But it taught me, if I were ever going to get in the position that he was in, how to treat young players, because especially now, guys don't sit around and get a chance to get their feet wet and get comfortable in the league. You need young guys to win. I need a young guy to want to come to work, not dread it like I did my rookie year. So LT was, I mean, wow, what a presence.
And I noticed, like, after we talked last week, I looked at your stats. That's what I did.
Oh.
I'm your friend. I checked your stats.
Oh, wow.
So you got hurt your first year, but even your first, like,
2 or 3 years.
First 3 years,
yeah.
And there was a coach that you said something that really, like, stuck with me. You had a coach that made an incredible impact with you, but the results of it didn't really come to fruition until after he left.
Yeah, Earl Leggett. Earl Leggett, an incredible coach. Coached the Raiders, Howie Long, Greg Townsend, like they won the Super Bowls there with Earl. Earl's an amazing coach, but he's a coach you're glad you had, not you're glad you have in the moment. He taught me everything I needed as a football player, technique-wise and toughness. I mean, I thank God I had a dad who worked me when I was 13 to 16. When I say I worked out with my dad, it's not like these kids who go to the gym with their dad and their dad's like, oh, we're going to walk on the treadmill today. No. My dad was like, if you're going to do it, we're going to do it. So we worked out, and he'd wake me up at 5:30 or 4:30 in the morning. We go running in the woods. So when I got to, and at TSU, Walter Highsmith was the toughest they came. There would be he'd make us run hundreds, and he would say, okay, we run gassers. We're going to run until somebody turns their scholarship in. What? And we thought he was joking.
I'd walk out right there.
No, he wasn't joking. We run more until we're looking at each other like, hey, man, hey, somebody got to go home. Like, somebody got to give it up. But you would see in Houston, we're on a turf field, 100 degrees, 100% humidity. You see those heat waves when you look down by the goalpost. And I swear to God, the devil's leaning up against it going, hey, come to me. Come on. I know you want to. Like, dude. So when I got to the pros, I felt like I'd been to hell. You couldn't kill me. But Earl damn near did.
He tried to bring you there.
He worked us unlike anything where the other guy positioned on our team told it, we feel sorry for y'all, man. They watch us work before practice, like in the lead up to team periods, and they feel sorry for us. But Earl taught us every technique, repetition. So when you got into the game, you knew what to do. But the thing was, Earl would be on you so hard in meetings when you're watching the film about certain little things. He's very particular about each step, your hand placement, that in the game, you would be so tight to make sure that my foot's here and my hand's here. You weren't just naturally being an athlete. You were kind of trying to make sure you did the technique perfectly so that you wouldn't get yelled at and embarrassed in a room in a meeting. But the second he left, I went to the Pro Bowls and I started playing well, but I don't look at it and think, oh, Earl held me back. I look at it and think Earl was the reason I was able to have any success in my career, because the techniques that he taught me from year 1 served me until year 15.
Yeah.
And without that, I would have been out of the league. I would have been out of the league in 3 years.
You told him that?
Yeah, he passed away now, but yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And then when I would make Pro Bowls, he wasn't even my coach. I'd bring him and his wife, Bobby. Come on, you're part of this, And my parents, they developed a close relationship with my parents. And great man.
So you go on to have this incredible career. And as a Giant fan, 2007 happens.
Oof.
2007 happens. And I remember the year before, there was like talk that you might not even come back. Right?
I wasn't coming. I thought I wasn't.
You really thought you weren't coming back?
I did for a minute, because I had hurt my foot. I tore a ligament in my foot like I had done my rookie year. And I was like, you know what? I had a great career, man. I've done everything I felt like I needed to do. I won awards. Did all this stuff. Maybe just call it a day. Then I got out to L.A. I knew I had to deal with Fox to do the show. And I'm in L.A. and I'm like, God, I just don't want to go out like that, though. You know what I mean? Just go out on an injury. and I feel like I still got something in the tank. And so I started working out, and I kind of knew I was coming back at some point, but I didn't want to go to training camp.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, man, let me act like I'm gonna retire.
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't want. I swear I was sleeping in a dorm bed again that would have been my 15th camp. Each time over a month, I'm in like a month or something in a dorm room.
Yeah.
That's over a year of my life. I'm pushing two twin beds together and trying to lay sideways if I don't fall in the crack.
So you just were like, I'm ready to go. I don't need another camp.
I was like, I'll be ready when I get back.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to camp. So I'm going to stretch this as long as I can. And so I kept telling I think I'm going to retire. But I kept getting calls from OC, from Tuck, from William. Joseph would call me. It's different, man. It's different. I'm like, what's different? I mean, what's different?
Yeah.
I'm sick of like get beat up. We never like win anything. And so I was like, okay, I know I'm coming back, but I'm just gonna play this out. But I was still in the contract. So if I were to go back, they were fining me.
Yeah.
So by the time I said I was coming back, my fines were like 500 and something thousand or something like that. And I tried to get them to, like, I'll come back. You got to get rid of the fines. Well, we got to fine you something. I was like, no one would know what you fined me.
Yeah.
So fine me $5. I don't care. But I still end up paying quite a bit, like enough to buy a nice Bentley or something. And it was worth every penny.
Yeah, you missed camp.
Dude, it was worth every penny.
I was at camp not so long ago in like 100-degree heat. And I'm thinking like,
who wants to do that?
This looks like hell.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. But you're young. You're dumb. You don't know. You're just running around there. And the coach says, do this, do that. And you do it. So I literally said to myself, if I had known it felt this good to miss camp, I would have paid like 2-3 of the previous years. I would have just take the check.
Here's $500,000 a year. I'll see you week 1.
Just as long as I don't do that. And then we get to week 1 and we got beat to death. Cowboys beat us like a drum. Week 2, we get beat like a drum against Green Bay. 80 points we gave up in 2 games. I'll never forget sitting in Dallas on the sideline, and I'm sitting there and we're getting beat like a drum, and I'm thinking, just the other day, literally a week ago, I was in California. Like, I was chilling. I was good. What am I doing? What am I doing? And Pam Oliver, who I loved to death, at Fox, I remember seeing her. She was a sideline reporter in that game, and I remember her saying, "There's just no energy on the sideline." Like even Michael Strahan, I'm like, oh, I remember feeling that, man. That stung.
Yeah.
And that was a moment there too. Like, yo, get it together, buddy.
Yeah.
Like, you don't embarrass yourself.
And then the next week, guys had that insane goal line stand,
Washington,
turn the season around. And then the last game of the regular season, you guys have already clinched your playoff spot. The Patriots are going for their perfect regular season record.
Mm-hmm.
No one knows what's to come 3-4 weeks later. But did you guys want to play that game?
OC knew what was to come. He knew. You know what? We were kind of torn. We didn't mind playing it. I mean, it was like, okay. We knew Tom Coughlin.
Yeah.
So why even set yourself up to think we're not going to do something when you knew how Tom was? And Tom was like, he's going to play. And he played us a message after the game from Bill Parcells or someone talking about how proud they were the way we came out there and competed and played when we didn't have to. And I think that gave us even more energy going into the playoffs. But I think guys knew we had to play the game. If we didn't play that game against them the last game, we wouldn't have won the Super Bowl. I don't think.
I agree with that as a fan. Like, even as a fan, you went into the playoffs thinking, wow, we really got a shot to do something.
Well, what made us really feel like we had a shot is that they'd beaten everybody, obviously. Yeah. And we're playing in the last game of the season. Because we know we're in the playoffs, we had Tampa Bay the next week. We didn't put anything in the game plan for the Patriots. It was literally vanilla. Man on man, you whip him across from you cover him, and get through this game, and we're off to Tampa next week. And next thing you know, we're looking at it and we're going, we didn't put anything in to a game plan to beat this team. We know they did because they want to win.
Yeah.
And we're hanging with them, and we should have won. And we were like, if this is the team that beat everybody, then whoa, what's up with us? And it's funny, right after that game, walking off the field and hated to lose, man. I'm just like, OC walks up to me and he goes, when we see them again, we're going to beat them, man. We see this team again, we're going to beat them. And in my head, I'm like, yo, only way we're going to see this team again is in the Super Bowl. They're in the AFC. And he's like, we're going to see this team again, we're going to beat them. And I'm like, okay, all right. Okay, young fella. You don't know how this works. That's what I was thinking because 15 years, I've been to one Super Bowl, playoffs a few times, but it's so hard. And almost the ignorance of it by these young cats, man, was beautiful.
And then you go to Tampa and win, go to Dallas and win, go to Green Bay and win.
I was worried about Dallas. That was the one I was worried about. They were stacked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whew, I could talk about 2007 forever. Then you go and shock the world, beat the Patriots, a moment that you and every Giant fan will have for the rest of their life. And then you walk away at probably at that time still the top of your game. Was it easy to walk away at that point?
Yeah, I was done.
You were done.
I could have played a few more years, but it was getting harder to compete mentally. Physically, I was good. And it was funny because OC and Tuck would always mess with me. You know, we get in these meets, man. We just talk crazy to each other. I mean, it's not even safe for PG half stuff, safe for TV half the stuff. But he and OC had this thing. OC and Tuck had this thing. And they'd be like, yeah, old man, yeah, we gonna kick you out the league. And they just throw their foot up like they're kicking the door in. And I was like, okay, all right. But I used to always get Tuck back. OC was on the other side, balling. And Tuck was incredible, young, like a stud. The only guy we had who literally legitimately could play end-to-end tackle.
Yeah.
And as an end, he was a beast. But as a tackle, he was too strong, quick, and fast for those linemen inside. He was amazing. But I used to always joke and go, yeah, you know what, Tuck, let me tell you something. As long as I decide to play football, you'll always beat my back up. And that was the only way to shut him up. But what these guys did,
cold-blooded, bro.
My comments, I was pretty ruthless. I mean, I was a nice guy now, but back then, those guys say I was pretty cutthroat, which you had to be to survive. But you know, I look back then, and those guys would go home after work. You know, practically go home. I'm in ice tub. I'm running extra. I'm lifting more weights. Like it was taking me so much just to stay at the level. And I saw for them being younger and strong, you know, for them, they can just come out there and kind of perform it. For me, I was still sore until Saturday, Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And that's with the help of anti-inflammatories, you know. And I'm like, you know, win the Super Bowl, never blew out knees, I hurt everything. And I had injuries here and there, but why get greedy? What's the point? If my heart's not in it, I'm cheating the game. I've never cheated the game. And I wasn't going to cheat it. And I was in Greece. I never took vacation or anything like that. And I was like, I'm going to Greece. I want to go on a great vacation. I'm in Greece, sitting there in a nice hotel looking out at the blue water. And I get a call from my agent saying, you know, OC got hurt in camp.
Yeah.
Giants really want you to come back. And they're going to pay you this and that. It was a lot of money, nothing compared to what the guys make now. But back then it would have, you know, it was a lot of money. And I looked and said, Greece or New Jersey? I decided to stay in Greece. And another factor was they said, oh, Kaufman, take care of you in practice. And I'm like, I was never that guy, man.
Yeah.
You practice, I practice. Yeah. I don't take it easy in practice. I don't take days off. I don't say, young guys, get in there, take my reps. And if I couldn't do that and if you're going to take it easy on me, because I don't want to be there.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be in a game. And all of a sudden I realized that Earl Leggett, my coach, Earl used to tell myself, which how he reminds me of this all the time. He used to always say to both of us, you know, when it goes fast. You don't know when. Maybe at the beginning of the season, middle of the season, at the end of the season, but when it goes fast. I didn't want to be in the middle of a season, the beginning or the end of a season, because once I started, I have to finish. And it goes on me. And that's when you embarrass yourself.
Yeah.
I don't want young guys on the team looking at me going, man, I remember when he used to be.
Yeah.
And I'm still there. That hurts.
I remember when OC got hurt, and I was frustrated that you didn't come back. But I think now, knowing you and knowing the like narrative on your career and your legacy, it's a beautiful thing that you went out after beating the Patriots in one of the biggest, most historic games in NFL history.
That, yeah. You know, and also I think the reason I retired too is like another definitive point time in my life that happened 11 years before, when the Giants moved me from right end to left end because they drafted Cedric Jones, fifth overall pick out of Oklahoma. And Cedric had a problem with his right eye. So they said we need to put him there. It's more natural because of his vision. And I love Cedric. Good friend to this day. Love him. I mean, one of my boys. But they moved me to left end. And after I'd been over fighting and figuring out the other side. And I'll never forget at that moment feeling like, man, they just tossing me over here like nothing after all the work. And I could have gone in the tank, but I remember thinking to myself, I am going to make myself so valuable to this franchise on the field and in the locker room that I'll leave when I'm ready. They will not have that control over me anymore. And that is the greatest feeling, that I left when I was ready and they wanted me to come back.
Yeah.
And it was almost like, wow, I made up my mind on some plan and it absolutely worked. And I never wanted to get in a position where they could control the outcome of my career. I felt as long as I stayed healthy, that was in my hands. And it worked out that way.
Definitely worked out that way. And you then like transition into the next phase of your life. And it's funny because when I talk to athletes now, you're in a lot of ways like the model for a trajectory that you can take, a path you can take, right? You have built this incredible business for yourself, but on television, you're truly at the top of the game. I mean, you're on Good Morning America every day. You've hosted talk shows. You've been on every show that there is. You're on Shark Tank. And then you still host your NFL on Fox, but it wasn't seamless, right? It couldn't have been easy and seamless. So how do you retire at this point in your career? You had the Fox thing set up, but what happened to get you to this point now where there's a whole generation of people that know you're a legendary football player, but know you as someone that they see on television all the time?
Getting over the fact that I played football and saying yes. Because when you play a sport and then you get into your head that that's your value, and that's everything, only thing people are going to know you for, right? I played football. You're the football player. And when you're a rookie, it's like, I'm the football player. You had the NFL starter kit, that gold chain with the NFL logo with diamonds with your name etched across that you throw on top of your chest when you walk up to the door at the club to get in, that.
I'm Strahan.
Yeah, I'm Strahan. Yeah, Giants, let me in the club. So it went from being proud of that, not that I wasn't proud of the football player, but as I got older, you're a football player. It actually kind of irked me because I knew I felt like I was more than just that. And then when you retire, though, and your whole identity is wrapped up into what you did for a living, you think that people only see you for that. So when you go into these rooms and you have ideas and you're trying to discuss or you're thinking about a show or something, you almost feel trapped in the world of sports. You almost feel trapped that people will only see you in that way and that you have no value outside of that. Mm-hmm. And I had to get over that. And it was a producer in Hollywood who said to me, I was talking about something. I said, I just think people just see me as a football player. He said, well, as long as you see yourself like that, that's all they're going to see you as. Changed my life. Another moment.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, I'm watching like watching guys watch tape playing football. I'm watching guys doing TV shows. I'm on one myself with Fox, and I'm sitting there with the best teachers in the world right next to me. So whenever I'm not, still to this day, whenever I'm not talking on air, and I'm like watching, like I'm learning how they do things and how they deliver, and how he's got the students, and and Jimmy is like the coach, and Terry's like the serious, but the funny guy who's gonna interject farm animals into football, like stuff like that. But I'm watching everybody's different delivery on how they do things. And I'm learning at the same time I'm sitting there. And that was like the best thing you can do. I was in school every day with the best. Mm-hmm. But yet I had to participate. I just couldn't sit. And But I had to get out of my own head about just being an athlete and just only being able to do sports. But it wasn't easy. I almost quit Fox after 3 weeks. I almost went back to football. I almost took the Giants up on their deal.
3 years later?
3 weeks.
Oh, 3 weeks into
3
your
weeks
job.
into the season, I'm on the show and I'm going, I don't know about this. I don't know about this, man. This is harder than I thought. I don't know if I got a career here. And then something happened there, and I was given a comment, and I learned, don't say I got 3 things, because I did 1 and I did 2, and I got to the 3rd and I completely forgot. And the guys are looking at me, and I'm like, and as I'm saying 2 and I'm trying to think of 3, I'm like, oh my God. And I hadn't written it down either. And so I started coughing like I was choking. Started acting like I was choking. And then they were like, you okay? And then they picked up. And then I was like, and now I remember, and after I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And then I finished my point, and I said to myself that if I could think like that in that moment and do live, oh, I could do this. And that was another one. Like,
wow.
It was crazy, dude. Crazy. It just came out of nowhere. And then I just all of a sudden became comfortable. And I had asked, I went on live when Regis and Kelly, when we won the Super Bowl. And I remember telling them, Gelman, the producer, when after said, hey, I would love to come in and like co-host if Regis takes a vacation. And the weird thing is, when I was on the show that day, Regis said, asked me one of the questions, asked me, Michael, you're retired. Like, what are you going to do now? And I said, I don't know. Maybe you want to retire. I'm on the show right now. Maybe Kelly and Michael and Kelly. Joking. And years later, I get a call when I like to co-host. And I almost feel like they went through the whole list of people. I was the last one waiting.
No.
And
that's
I went
wild.
On. Dude, I went on the quickest hour of my life, had the best time, and finished the show. I go backstage and Constance Schwartz, my partner, says, Michael, this is what you're going to do. And I'm like, what are you talking about? She goes, this is what you're going to do. And what a lot of people didn't know is I was going to Ellen a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
And Telepictures approached me and wanted to give me my own show. And they said, well, you go out and you just go out and try to find a co-host, do all these other things if you want. And I kind of was waiting to see if I got the live job, but then I had a Telepictures gig. And glad I got the live job because I walked into a built-in audience that Regis and Kelly had built.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to rebuild it and relearn an audience. But it was still tough, man, because it's Regis. You can screw that up in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
And you're blamed for crushing one of the most iconic shows on television.
But you killed it.
It worked out.
And it led to Good Morning America.
Yeah.
You still love being on TV every day?
I do. It's interesting still. I think the news is different.
Yeah.
I think doing a daily talk show, like live, at this point, if I were there, this would be like 14 years of it. I don't think I would have lasted 14 years of it because it's kind of like Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
And not taking anything away from had incredible experience and they do an incredible job there. But I think for me, my mind is always, once I do something once, usually I don't do it again. So, but after 14 years, no way I could have done it. News changes every day, always something different. There are great stories I can go cover. There are things that I can figure out and learn as I'm going to do a story. I can create my own stories and find something I find interesting that they'll let me go out and I guess share with the world. So news, I enjoy it. And I have turned into a person who doesn't mind getting up early. I go to work, got the energy, excited to be there. And, it's a fun thing to do.
Your work ethic is insane. I remember I told you this joke a few weeks ago, but I asked you once, I'm like, you still work out all the time? And you said, nah, not really. I'm not doing 2-a-days and shit like that. And I'm like, 2-a-days, bro. I'm on 2 a year, man.
But there are some times I will. Like I'll do like cardio sometimes, and then in the afternoon I'll go do something. But I try to work out. I do something pretty much every day.
And you're not just on TV. You're not just working out every day. You're running a business with your incredible partner. And I'm somebody that was able to build a business with an incredible partner. I think that is something that every founder and entrepreneur should seek out, right? Going into this journey of building something with a partner that complements you, that you trust implicitly,
Yep.
who starts to read you in a way that like no other relationship. What is the magic of you and Constance?
I think just that. We had an incredible friendship when she was with the NFL. When I was second year in the league, maybe second or third year in the league. And then when she left the NFL and she moved out to LA and she worked for a record label and she's working for a management firm and all that stuff, I just go to LA periodically and I would say, hey, how are you? I'm in town. I would go to the office, sit around, just be a bright-eyed kid, didn't know anything about anything. And we had this brother-sister relationship. And then when I retired, she was in LA running her business and I would go to the office. And I would sit and listen. But then at this point, I'm like, oh, you should do this. How about you try that? Oh, I like that. And she got tired of me being in there. So she said, either you join the company or you don't come in anymore. And that's really kind of how it started. I'm like, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in. So I ended up joining and we created Smack. And it's been incredible because, as you said, you have to have someone who compliments you, who understands you. She understands me more and better than anyone in personal and in business. And she's got my back no matter what. And she's smart as a whip, man.
Yeah.
I mean, she just has these things and you can trust her. She's not going to do anything that jeopardizes you and your career because that jeopardizes her as well. I remember when I retired from football and I would go, we want you to do this commercial and this and that. Guys to do a bunch of commercials. And she's like, no, Michael, nah. I'm like, that's a lot of money. She's like, but it's not right for you. If you do that, then she break it down how it affects this and how it affects that. And you know what? If you're not making money, I'm not making money. Trust me.
Yeah. And
I just implicitly trust her. And I also am not afraid to have ideas. She looks at me as equal. Not as somebody who's an athlete and he just sits in the corner and we go into business meetings and I run the meetings and he shuts up because he gets us in the room. I mean, we're a true partnership.
Yeah.
And that's the key.
That's like one of the keys to the partnership. If anybody starts shooting down within that partnership an idea, even if you don't agree with it, you break the trust right away.
Yeah. And I think for me too, I know for me, I want her to shine. I want her to have more success than I have. I almost feel like this is her time, man. She's earned it. She has done so much stuff and has always been under the radar until, last few years. They're like, yo, you got to get out there.
Yeah.
I mean, and not just get out there, for the sake of having publicity, but get out there because you are truly a woman in this space. Crushing it. And, I have 3 daughters. So this is like, women need to see this.
Yeah.
They need to see this. This is not a space reserved for men. You've proven that. Get out there and show it. And so she's come out of her comfort zone.
Yeah.
She does interviews. She does panels. She does all this stuff now. And I'm proud of her. And I want her to, get everything that comes with what she's built.
I like to think that I was behind a little bit of that because the boardroom cover was me calling her and saying, you know what?
There you go.
You got to tell your story. And for people like her that instinctually don't mind being behind the scenes, or in our generation grew up thinking like, that's not even the appropriate thing to do. Like, let me play my role. The times have changed, and part of building a business is the storytelling around your business and who you are, and people connect with that. And I think I've seen that grow, and I'm sure it's benefited business. I'm sure it has.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt. Absolutely benefited business. And I think that I look at her, I'm just proud of her, man. I'm telling you. And we've been at this for a long time and our business continues to grow and it's amazing to us. A lot of the things that have come our way, but it hasn't been because someone's handed it to us. We've earned it, every bit of it. And she's the day-to-day queen, man. She's the one who runs the day-to-day.
Yeah.
And I don't want to sit here and take credit for the work that she does because she and the rest of the team, they are grinding every single day for me and for every other client that we have, for every production that we have, for every clothing brand or other, consumer brand that we have. And they're They're incredible.
Yeah.
Small but mighty team, Rich.
Yes, you are a mighty team. You manage talent, you produce and distribute great stories. Like you said, you build products, consumer products. You have your own fashion line. You are a bit of a fashion.
No, you know what?
Trendsetter,
I'm chilling right now. I got on I worked out right before I came
good,
here, to
bro.
be honest with you.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie to you. I had to get the little workout in. And I text you like, yo, what do I wear? And I had like a suit. I'm like, I've never seen Rich really in a suit.
That'll never fly here.
Yeah. I'm wearing my glasses next time.
But you do all of this and you're on TV. How much longer you think you can be on TV and do all this? Is it still that?
I want to be old on TV, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once this takes longer to put on my makeup than the show is, like if it's an hour show, it takes me an hour and 2 minutes to put on makeup, it's time to go, bro.
Yeah.
I don't want to be, I want to enjoy my life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I worked a long time, and it's not that I don't enjoy my life now because I have an incredible life, but I want to be somewhere for 2 weeks or for 2 days and go, yo, I'm having a good time. I want to stay for another few days. I can't do that.
Yeah.
Like, okay, here's the vacation time. Don't deviate. You don't have any deviation with it. So I just want to, I think, live a little bit more. You know, kids are getting older. I'm getting older. I just want to wake up late, go to bed late, fall asleep to a movie, not fall asleep during the beginning of the movie. Like just the little basic things that I used to take for granted when all I did was Fox.
Yeah.
I mean, working 1 day a week for 6 months. And then I used to take the other time and just lollygag around. Now I wish I had that freedom.
Yeah. Do you get enough football fix from managing talent, telling stories, and being on Fox, or could you ever see yourself getting closer to the game again?
I love to own.
Yeah.
I love being the ownership side. And in the ownership side for me, though, it's like owning, but I'm not there to say, well, you should draft that guy and you should do this. I want to be in an ownership position where I just advise what you need. And I think one of the things that I felt I was good at with the Giants was like leadership, understanding guys, understanding motivation, understanding, pushes yourself to be great, the mentality that it takes. And I would love to be in the ownership side of it, but in a space where I feel like I can contribute the most would be in those ways.
Just on the Giants before we wrap up, the Giants obviously have struggled the last 2 years. I think there's like a new excitement around the team right now. I'm excited for this year. What's your kind of analysis of them going into this season, and how much of an importance do you put on continuity, right? I think teams are quick to get rid of coaching staffs and front office. And I've seen in the NBA that from a roster standpoint and a front office standpoint, continuity is starting to pay off.
Yeah.
So how are you feeling about the Giants right now going into this season?
I think continuity is very important.
Yeah.
If you're switching up coaches every few years, no one ever feels comfortable. No one ever feels safe. You're learning new systems. So was I a little surprised that Dable stayed? Yeah, I think, the public outcry was what it was, but I also felt like he now had the quarterback that got drafted he wants, He got Russell, he's got, Jameis, he's got some veterans there who can carry the torch until this young kid is ready. But I also think more than carry the torch, I think these guys can win games.
Yeah.
They have talent on the field. I think it's just a matter of getting everybody to come together. This season, will they make the playoffs? They have a tough schedule and they have a lot of new players. So, and also you're in a tough division. That's the biggest key. You got the Eagles, and Cowboys are always stacked and talented. Never get over the hump, but I had to throw
that. You got to throw a shot at the Cowboys.
I had to do it.
And the Commanders are good.
And the Commanders are good.
Very good.
And so I feel like the Giants are one of these teams that can surprise us.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I think we could be surprised because we got some great picks in the draft. I'm a Carter fan. Scatterboo. That's my boy, man.
Yeah.
Love that kid.
The defense is serious. The defense with Burns, Thibodeau, Dexter Lawrence, obviously, and Abdul are serious.
Yep.
And the schedule is crazy. They changed the rule a few years ago, so you don't get rewarded for having a bad.
That's what I was like, man.
Yeah, it's a round robin now. So we have the toughest schedule, I think, in the last 5 years in the NFL. But I agree with you. I think they're going to surprise some people. I do.
I'm telling you right now, it's about confidence, too.
Yeah.
If they can, we lost those first 2 games, but then we started winning games. But if they can win some games that people don't expect for them to win, and when I tell you confidence, just all of a sudden guys feel better, they play better.
Yeah.
It's a natural thing because talent-wise, you may not know a guy's name. You may not look at the roster and go, yeah, they got it. You may look at another roster and go, oh, they have everybody.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean anything because teamwork is teamwork.
Yeah.
Everybody talent-wise is about as close as it can be. Some guys may have had a better name or some success here and there that people know them more, but talent-wise, the NFL is not very far off. And that's why it's so hard to make it. You know, not college, you're going up against a decent guy every few weeks. No. Every week, everybody's good.
Yeah.
And it just takes a little bit of spark, a little bit of confidence. And if the Giants can get that, because it probably the heck out of all of us.
Yeah, you win a few games early and you start believing you can win.
Yeah.
All right, I want to ask you some power rankings. I like power ranking, man. I like ranking. My kids say I try to rank too much. I ask my kids, I'm like,
yeah, follow you on Instagram, man. I don't know.
I'm like, who are your 5 best friends at school? They're always, and my wife's always like, why you keep asking everyone to rank everything?
You know what's so funny? When I was giving my Hall of Fame speech, one of my best friends, Gene Wolfson, his son Jack, were at the Hall of Fame, and I've known Jack before he was born, basically, you know. And Jack goes, Dad, I'm giving my speech. He goes, you think you didn't think he's in your top 5? And Gene said that the Hall of Fame talking about, you know. I'm like, what? And then I mentioned him like the top 3, Dad.
Everyone likes a good top 5 ranking.
Everybody likes a nice little.
So who are the top 5 players you ever played with or against?
Ooh. Man. Some guys brought so many different things, man. Top 5. I mean, number 1 is LT. I mean, there was nobody like Lawrence Taylor. But that's a hard one, man.
Yeah, well, you can answer it.
I played with or against, but there were certain ways I appreciated different players.
All right, so let's do the 5 players you played with in your career. Top 5 players you played with in your career, for whatever reason.
Rich, that's too hard.
All right,
I can go Lawrence Taylor. Oh, you name them.
I'll name them. I'll name yours. I'm going to go Lawrence Taylor.
Okay.
Eli.
Okay.
I'm going to go Tuck Ossie. And then I'm going to go Amani Toomer.
Tough list.
Okay.
Because I could swap some of them out, and not because they're not some of the best players I played with, because I played with guys in a shorter period of time, but who were just Jesse Armstead.
Oh, yeah.
Most instinctual
I should have mentioned
football
Jesse
player
Armstead.
I've ever played with in my life. Jason Sehorn.
Well, that's why I asked you. That's why I asked
it
you.
Was incredible, man. He's the best athlete I ever played with, hands down. And, you know, I mean, look at a guy like Rodney Hampton.
All right, forget. All right,
it's too hard.
All right, top 5 quarterbacks today.
Top 5 quarterbacks today: Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. I mean, I hope Lamar Jackson can get something to get off this.
I feel like everyone wants him to win one.
He's amazing. I want him to win one too. And I love Josh Allen. Great kid. Known him since he came out of college, and just incredible kid. Those 3.
Burrow.
Who?
Joe Burrow.
Yeah, Joe. Joe's all slick with it, man.
Yeah, they're all in the AFC, by the way.
They're all in the AFC. And I look in. You know, I don't want the old heads are. I can't name him.
So we got Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow,
and I'm looking
Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes.
And I'm looking at this kid in Washington.
Yeah,
special.
I'm good with that. I'm good with Jaden.
Yeah, he's special.
Top 5 defensive players ever, not including yourself.
Oh no, I never include myself in that. Lawrence Taylor, Reggie White, Bruce Smith. I'm not just saying D lineman, but I got a little partial. damn. You can't do this.
Ronnie Lott?
Okay, but then I'm going Troy Polamalu. I mean, I'm looking at Ronnie Lott. But dude, you read my mind because that's literally what I was going to say. And I'm like, well, then Troy.
Ray Lewis
was insane. When we played them in the Super Bowl, we lost. There were like Rays out there, man.
I know. Oh,
I was like, why can this guy be everywhere? Ed Reed. You give me these lists. These lists are impossible.
All right, you know what?
They're absolutely impossible.
Power rankings were a fail.
Okay, give me the top 5 basketball players in the league.
Right now?
Yeah.
All right, man, I'm done. KD, LeBron, Steph. Mike.
That's it? How long is this show?
Oh, man, I'm going to go.
You kicking me out of here?
I'm kicking you out of here. They're kicking me out of here, man. That's what they...
Man, we just getting started.
That's how I feel, brother. But you'll come back.
Yeah, in a second. Can I get everybody back?
You can always be back. Wait till you come back. There'll be 35 Michael Strahan.
No. I don't want to see myself up there. I really don't. But I would really love to see Bill Parcells in a Giants uniform, a Giants jacket.
Oh, my God. What a fail. What a
fail. When he was winning.
By the way,
not that cowboy thing.
I'm mad at myself for that.
Yeah.
That's disgraceful.
Yeah.
I'm mad at myself. Oh, my God. I can't believe I even let that fly.
You know what, man? You got to cross the I's. I mean, dot the I's across the T's in the boardroom.
Little things, man.
In the boardroom.
You got to do better than that.
Yeah, you got to be better than that. But I love Bill. Good man.
Ah, God, Bill in a Cowboys uniform. I'm going to get killed for that.
Yeah.
I'll Photoshop it, baby.
You're going to cut this out anyway.
Nah, maybe not. Mike, thanks for joining the show,
love you,
my
man.
brother.
Thank you, brother.
I love having you.
You.
I'll see you soon.
Anytime you need me, I'm here.
Peace, baby.
All right, you too.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Network, and I hope you guys enjoyed my conversation with Michael Strahan. Please stay connected and locked into this show by subscribing to Network on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your shows.